everybody, it's Mikayas here, and we are ready for the finals of Season 11 in Grand Arena. I'm excited for these battles. They might not be the toughest battles, but they look like they're going to be fun. I've just peeked at them briefly, and we're going to dive in here. And apologies for not posting round 2, but it was just so incredibly easy. My opponent just it was a real mismatch, and it wouldn't have been fun. It wouldn't have been much fun for anyone. So we just waited for the finals, and here we are. Let's take a look. You can see we're facing Dark Lord J, and Dark Lord J has an okay arena rank, okay fleet rank. You can see he's got, a lot of the major teams here. I like to do a major team scan. I do this really quick at a glance, but I'll break it down for everybody how I usually approach these. I look for Jedi Revan, Traya, Darth Revan. I see there has no Darth Revan. And then I look for key teams like JTR, Bosk, Asajj, CLS. I can highlight them. But, okay, no. Apparently it clicks when you highlight. I wanted to just do that, the little highlight, but I can't. So, in addition, we have Bosk. Oh, I said Bosk. We have Chirpa. We've got some more Jedi. You can see a C-3PO, Chewie. Got a decent number of scoundrels there. That Karth with the Zeta. And yeah, so you can see there are quite a bit here. And we will just jump right into the battles to get started. Oops. Or we'll exit out completely. Here we go. We'll look at my defense actually first, and you can see I set a pretty staunch defense. This is the defense I like to set currently with my roster. Jedi Knight Revan with Mace as a plugin, and that's going to change now that there's been the Anakin GK Ahsoka rework. I have a Gear 11 Anakin, and I hear he's pretty beastly, especially when you max him out now. He's pumping out way more damage, and his AoE is actually useful these days, and so that's going to be something I experiment with in my JKR team, especially because I'm hearing reports that it's a good counter to Darth Malak, at least 5-star Darth Malak, and that's going to be useful moving forward. So I might end up maxing my Jedi Knight Anakin. And then we have, a Kira Scoundrel mix. This is before I had Mission in Zalbar. This was before the event that this locked in, before the Malak event. And, Darth Revan, Night Sisters with Nest, some Ewoks, some Bounty Hunters, with Zaris as a plug-in 5th, because I don't have a 5th strong Bounty Hunter. I was able to navigate that event with a weaker Greedo, I think. And you can hear my dog barking in the background a little bit, but that's all right. And so here we go. We are seeing the enemy's defense, and they have Revan, Bosk, Asajj sisters, no Nest, a really weak Darth Revan team, Chirpa, and Phoenix. And they haven't attacked me yet, and I think it's because they have no idea how they would approach my teams. 2 hours left. I suppose they could be playing an intricate game of chicken, but seems unlikely. I don't see a Falcon here, and I kind of want to check if he has Falcon real quick, so I'm not in for any surprises. Although it doesn't matter because I'm going to be using what I'm using anyways. My Falcon's on defense, so I'll be using an old school Thrawn target lock fleet. But let's get right in here and try and fight his Revan. We'll check the speed. Okay, 85. That is a very slow Revan. Not even gonna check the rest. I think that's sufficient. We'll use our Traya counter. Traya Nihilus, Scion Thrawn, and a 5th could use our weak B2. I think that'll be the move for right now. And let's give that a go. Let's see how that works. Actually, I've been wanting to try Assidious in here, and this might fail, and this might lose the whole thing for us, but I'm gonna try it anyways, because I'm curious if he'll work. He won't work as well as B2. Oh, okay. We went before the Revan. I forgot that that was gonna happen. Okay, so this isn't a good test, and this is going to be an immediate win. Oh boy, this is just like the last video of my Grand Arena, I think. We went before the Revan, and it is just a free victory at that point. I'm pretty sure you can't lose this, so this is where we're at. This is what we're doing. Shamefully easy. The healing immunity is what I find interesting with Sidious. I'll just keep hitting Jolie for getting ready for later. Swap to Nihilus, another Drain Force, then he'll have Annihilate up next turn. Yeah, okay, so Sidious died. That's what I figured would happen. He just can't hang. Just trying to find a use for him, try to force a use, but he died even when we could fracture Revan first, so it's kind of what we already knew. Don't use Sidious in this lineup, but again, this round of Grand Arena doesn't seem like it's in any danger at all, so I thought it was a good time to try. Looks like Jolie has his move on cooldown, so we'll start working on him. Can't bring Yoda back right there. This is all just very self-explanatory. If you can go before Revan, fracture Revan, and then annihilate Revan first. Revan's the linchpin, everything falls apart after you do that, and then just go on through. I could be maxing out protection more too, I could be trying to do things like that, but it just doesn't matter in this round for me, so I'm not paying attention to things like that. The round is already decided, more or less. It's a shame because this whole Grand Arena I had no competition. I'm really excited for the Grand Arena Champions League, or whatever the hell they're calling it, the tournaments. Those are going to be really fun. It's exciting to face true competition. My best opponent in Grand Arena so far, I was so nervous I couldn't even post it. I couldn't even upload it. I couldn't record it. I had to stop recording. It took me an hour to plan out my matches. And I want more Grand Arenas like that. And I am going to try very hard to resist the urge to not record the tough matches, because those are the best ones. Those are the ones you guys want to see, and they're the most valuable to learn from. And so I will put my pride aside and risk the loss from maybe a bit of rushing and a bit of added pressure with the record going. So next we have to make sure we can take care of Bounty Hunters, Night Sisters, and Drevin. So Night Sisters will do Palp, Bounty Hunters will do JTR, so Drevin will do CLS. This should be a quick, easy kill. I probably didn't even need all these, but Darth Revan is just scary, so. Oh, see, I say I didn't need them all, and yet here I am. Maybe about to lose this whole thing. Okay, that was really useful. That was good. HK's down. Revan's down. Oh, he didn't even have the assist Zeta. I should have paid attention to that. I wasn't thinking. One of his Zetas that keeps you from being able to hit him with assists or second attacks. Could have had him down quicker. That's all right. That's a win. Let's go on to the bounty hunters. I almost don't even want to use GTR just to show you a different way to approach the bounty hunters. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to showcase a Rex Wampa team. Rex Wampa is something that I think is very valuable. You can mix a lot of different characters in. I like to use Spirit a lot, and it's good to bring a tank also. So let's see what we have for tanks. I think we can get away with old Ben and maybe a support character. IPD is actually really solid with this team. This should work. My IPD is actually also Zeta'd. Part of the reason why I was not able to get Malak 100% free to play because I upped some abilities on E2 and IPD and put a Zeta on IPD and used a bunch of ability mats on Sith Assassin and did a bunch of things that kept that from being possible. So thermals are actually the worst. I kind of want to stun Zan just because of the thermals. This would prevent gaining buffs. Okay, that didn't work. That's not good. So we're going to try and ability block that boss now. Daze. I'm going to start after Boba. See if I can just take Boba out of the picture really quickly here. If my old Ben was maxed, I would have taunted there, but he's not, so I'm afraid of him dying. I really don't want that. I really need to get around this taunt. Wow, that was quick. That was a lot faster than I expected, to be honest. See if we can still pull this off. I think we'll be okay. Yeah, the mods on my opponent are really bad, but I probably never should have used Spirit's move to stun. I probably should have always kept that in case boss used a taunt. And I should have expected not to land that initial target lock, given that most people run Bosk with solid tenacity and his leadership provides extra tenacity. But that's okay. As you can see, you can still pull off a win, and this is useful when you're forced into situations like this. Like when your opponent puts a really, really tough defense up and you can't use JTR versus everyone, you know? Your CLS gets caught fighting something much more powerful like Traya or Revan or Darth Revan. Oh, I guess a weaker Darth Revan only. Don't fight full Darth Revans with CLS, but then you can use this team. You can use a mix of Rex characters, and there are other mixes you can use. This is one that I like. It gets you the win. And now I guess we'll go to the Night Sisters. We'll do the Palp. Classic Palp counter. Palp, Tarkin. I don't know where my Vader is. Wait, I actually don't know where my Vader is. It's a big part of this. Vader is with Darth Revan. Okay, Death Trooper. TFP. And we could throw in my weaker Shore Trooper or my Zeta Maul. Maybe we're better off just trying Imperial Troopers. How tough are they? They don't look that tough. I think we're gonna try and get away with Imperial Troopers. This might not work. My troopers are not strong. One more team that I want to work on desperately, but never get the chance to, because we're always forced to farm in preparation for the next meta. So this is what we get. I'm afraid she's gonna stealth right away, but I guess I'll try it. She's weaker. Yeah, that's okay though. We'll get it on the AoE. Try and get it again. And one more time. Oh. And one more time. Yes. There we go. Through as well as we can. Oops, low battery. It's all right. I'm trying to just keep the turn meter going. Yeah, this is gonna work out. Trying to get some protection back. There we go, full health and protection. You can see Range Trooper played a big role there, even though he was under geared. And now we just have Ewoks and Phoenix, so I don't know. Ewoks, we can go Palp, Tarkin. I still have JTR, it's kind of crazy. Palp, Tarkin, Maul, TFP, and I guess I could use Shore Trooper as the last one. Yeah, that should be fine. I don't know. We'll see. They're just Ewoks. I'm not too concerned. Buff immunity's kind of nice. Gotta get Elder out of there as quickly as we can. Daze will be really helpful. That just sets everyone back, and it's over from here. I could have undermanned this. I could have done a lot of things, but again, this GA is just over. So I don't know. I'll do some more venting about the Malak upgrade. I think that it's dangerous to make Arena as prescriptive as they are making it. We should not be told there's one team to rule them all. There should be viable counters that rely on tactics, not just the fastest mods to see who goes first. Say what you will about the Jedi Knight Revan meta, but the one sort of best part about it was that your rank each day relied on your willingness to put the time and work in to make your climb and go through the battles. And it wasn't just a function of having the fastest mods. You could win with slower mods every time. I did it every day. And you had to mod well still. You had to put a lot of damage on Yoda and a lot of health on Jolie. to make your team really competitive, but it was just a lot more reasonable. I kind of want to, I'm just going to use wigs because I want to. I just want to use wigs, Chase, and Ezra. I want to use an old school team. I used to run this in Arena. It was a lot of fun back in the day. Chase used to be the it thing in low, at least in low elo when I was coming up. So I'd go for Sabine first, actually. So I can just get her right out of here. And then go for Hera. She's out of here. Chopper's next. Get rid of all those buffs. I should probably go for Kanan before Ezra because of all the counters. At least with the small hitters. I don't want, well, they're just countering against base. It doesn't really matter. Again, I did not need this. This is an overkill team. I just wanted to use it just for fun. Try and have some fun. If you find the game is not fun for you anymore, then you're doing something wrong. I've found myself reevaluating what I enjoy most in the game a lot since this malak controversy, and I think that malak will probably be the last time that I spend for a character, because I think it takes away a sort of mini game I've been playing for almost 2 years now of trying to, it's almost like two populations are playing the same game, but they're playing in their own league, right? You have your heavy pay-to-play players, and then you have your free-to-play to light spender category. And within the free-to-play to light spender category, you're not even really competing against the other whales because you can't. It's not possible. It's just mathematically not possible to try to match their level of roster progress, their pace of progress, or anything like that. You can try to keep up with them in Arena, and that'll work unless they do something like a lot like what they're doing now, where they're limiting the counters. But even now, we're still finding some counters. They're just tough, and you'll fall more on defense. But it's really against other free-to-play and light spenders that you're competing against, trying to see how well you can stay at the top, or for how long you can stay at the top. How well can you plan? How well can you anticipate? How well can you resource manage? And that's a lot of fun, that mini game. It really is. But one thing that takes away from the fun of that, and this is why I chose to spend on malak, and why I, briefly went against my normal habits or patterns or whatever you want to call it. It's because the only way to get malak was to full-on horde, and that's not fun for months. You don't get to gear anything that you want to gear. You don't get to play, you don't get to upgrade the characters you want to play, work on any of the projects, finish any of the projects. You have to put everything on hold. You just store the gear. You look at all those little green pluses for days and weeks and months, literally, and that's just not fun. There's nothing fun about that. Like, I wanted to Zeta my Imperial Probe Droid because I like that character. I think it's fun that it blows things up. I think it becomes more useful when target lock prevents any gaining of buffs. that's really cool. I really wanted that Zeta. Because of that Zeta, it set me back a full Zeta that I needed for the Zalbar, for the Malak event. And, you know, that sucks. That because I Zeta'd a character that I like and enjoy, that then that one move, maybe there are a couple other moves. Like I put some Omegas on B2 and IPD himself, and a bunch of purple mats on Sith Assassin, thinking that would be useful, but now we can see that was a waste. And ability mats were my biggest setback or limiting factor in the attempt for Malak. Even bigger than any gear, it was the ability mats that were ridiculous. And so I just think that manner of playing where you would say like, well, you could have got Malak free to play if I had continued even further gearing nothing I wanted to for another week. Like I felt I was at my breaking point and the game was losing its fun after so long of just following this one path. And I don't know, I guess I don't like the end result. I don't like the conclusion that's to be drawn from this. Because the conclusion I've drawn from the Malak event is gear nothing you want, save everything, and then every few months you will get to have the new character first, and then you have to start saving again. And so in that cycle, all you ever get are the characters that you're told to farm, that you're told to gear, and you get very few side projects. And that might be fine for people who are day one players, but for people like me who started in July 2017 or later, we still have characters that we want to get that aren't built up already. If you have every character built up already, it's not that big a deal, right? Because all you really need are the new characters. But I don't even have a first order, for example. And that's a GA. I mean, side note, GA's done. I won it, but it's not a testament to my skill, this one, at all. It was just a bad field. It was a mismatched field. The matchmaking is terrible right now, and I don't claim any level of skill for having won this Grand Arena at all. And so, I mean, you can see I have my bounty hunters. They're kind of limited because I couldn't get Dengar, because the guild store tokens needed to get Dengar would have set back my gear on all my other projects I wanted to gear. You have to get gear from somewhere if you're free to play. And my Greedo's weak too, and so that's a sacrifice there. And you can see my first order basically doesn't exist. First order TIE Pilot's there from the old Target Lock under Thrawn team, where first order TIE Pilot was actually really good and strong. He was very useful for a long time in Fleet Arena, and now not so much anymore. But I've just never had a chance to work on the first order at all. It's impossible to keep up with the meta and gear first order for me. It's been completely impossible. There's no way I would have been able to get Chewie, C-3PO. God, what's the timeline? Chewie, C-3PO, Millennium Falcon, Revan, Darth Revan, Malak. That's a lot. I mean, to get all those things I just named was a ton of characters and gear, and I mean, that is what it is, I guess. But it sucks that I don't have first order. It sucks that I have these troopers that I want to finish really badly. Another part of the reason I had to spend for Malak is this stupid Nubian scanner. That was 1,400 crystals I had to spend because I put it on Shore Trooper, thinking I could start finally finishing my Shore Trooper. That was a mistake, it turns out. And I don't know, and I mean, Zeta Fin team is dead anyway, but I never got to fully develop a Zeta Fin team. That was kind of sad. I always wanted to do that. And my Rogue One cannot reliably finish that mission because never had a chance to gear Cassian, K2, Jin, although I'd really want to. I actually like these characters. I think they're really cool. I think their kits are cool. I think what they do is unique and fun. And it would be great if I could reliably get 6 out of 6 no matter what our platoons look like in territory battles, but you know, it's just never been in the cards. Biston and Scarif Rebel Pathfinder have a great ship. I'd love to have that ship, but it's never been in the cards. I've never had that spare gear. And bugs, I've never been able to do bugs in fleet either. Never had the spare gear. Couldn't get the Grievous team. I thought maybe I could go for it, but then right after Grievous, it was the rush for Darth Revan, and so I have this weird half-finished Grievous. I don't even want to put that last piece of gear on him to take him to gear 10 because it has a cuff in it, and stun cuffs are so rare. And he's really useless for me right now. He does almost nothing. And you couple that with the ability mat shortage that a new player has. No one ever thinks of being short on purples, but I have this Darth Malak, and I don't even have his abilities leveled up because I have no purple mats, right? It's pretty absurd. So I don't know. This was a kind of a long-winded rant about, primarily about disliking the Hobson's choice of farm what is prescribed to keep up with the meta, or farm what you like at your own peril and miss the meta. It sucks, and I wish there was a third path. Of course, everyone can comment about how the third path clearly is just spend some money and support the game, and that, you know, fair comment. That is clearly the path, and it's what I chose to do in the case of Malak. But from that competitive standpoint, that trying to beat the system, sort of, where you're trying to free to play everything right up with the whales, other than, you know, the size of your roster, it's disheartening to know that it's become increasingly difficult to do that as the months have passed. So yeah, that's it. That was my week GA coupled with a little bit of a rant. So thanks for hanging out, and thanks for listening all the way through if you're still here. And hopefully I'll get better competition next GA. And leave a comment below if the rant was extremely off-putting and you never want to hear my thoughts on current events in SWGOH again during one of these, or leave a comment if you found it at all interesting to listen to. I'd love to hear your perspectives too, so let me know, and have a good one. Peace, guys.